Welcome, one and all, to this episode of Pop Talk. I'm your host, Mike, and in tonight's episode, I'm going to be talking about Funimation and Crunchyroll combining forces, Free Guy being an unexpected hit at the box office, and the Orville Season 3 wrapping up. So, buckle up, get ready, because it all starts right now, and enjoy the show. So, first topic of discussion will be Free Guy and how it unleashed 51 million global bow and the Suicide Squad marches to 118 million worldwide and F9 tops 500 million overseas in the international box office. And this is by Nancy Giuliani? I don't know. I'm probably gonna mispronounce that name over and over again, to be perfectly honest with all of you. It's off with Disney 20th Century Studios Free Guy led the game at global turnstiles this session with a 51 million worldwide debut. That includes domestics overperformance of 28.4 million and a 22.5 million start in 41 material markets at the international box office, the latter in line with pre weekend expectations. Goes on to say that the offshore debut on the Sean Levy directed pick was 9% above Cruella and 18% below Jungle Cruise in like for like markets. This is a solid start for this original piece of IP, and particularly as overseas hubs are still struggling with shifting COVID restrictions. There's Runaway ahead, and strong word of mouth should give Free Guys some legs. Think of potential multiple. Goes on to say that the Ryan Reynolds video game inspired romantic comedy took number 18 in the UK and Russia, as well as Belgium, Israel, and the Middle East, Netherlands, Poland, Sweden, Hong Kong, New Zealand, Singapore, and more. It opened at number 2 in Australia and Mexico, among others, and was the top new Hollywood title in Korea, where local comedy Sinkhole ruled the frame with a 7.8 million debut. Given the variables, markets that open well on Free Guy should continue to see strong play through. Cruella and Jungle Cruise are the main comps here, despite the fact that they also bowed simultaneously on Disney Plus in markets where the service is available. Pre-pandemic, we have been looking more at Ready Player One. That's not currently a factor, as it made 49% of its overseas box office in China. However, given the recent dating of Pixar's Luca in China and the market's need for new product, it's quite possible that a date for Free. Overall, the top 5 markets for Free Guy this weekend were the UK, 3.4 million, Russia, 2.9 million, Korea, 1.4 million, Japan, 1.3 million, and France, 1.1 million. IMAX's global opening was 3 million. Next weekend, notably at Spain and Brazil, the latter having been held to avoid the Suicide Squad. The Warner Bros. DC movie this weekend was number 1 again in Brazil with a drop of just 22%, 3 million cum. In 70s overseas, market about a 50% dive to 17 million for the sophomore session. The international cum is now 75.2 million for 118.1 million global. The Suicide Squad came in ahead of its opening face-off with Free Guy in Japan, bowing to 1.9 million, 12% above Birds of Prey, and was also number one in Australia with a 3% drop for a total of 2.1 million. Sorry, I'm not going to say Cume once again. The IMAX total is now 8.3 million worldwide. Again, I'm not going to say Cume. Important to note, as always in these times, overseas markets are in a continuous. Australia has regions representing 65% of the box office in lockdown. Japan, Mexico, and Korea have all-time highs of COVID cases, and France and Italy are still dealing with the health pass or negative test requirement to attend cinemas. Still, France definitely turned up for Paramount Nickelodeon's Spin Masters Paw Patrol the movie, which took 2.3 million from 610 locations in 6 total markets. The team took a fierce 5.8 million, including paid previews. The UK led at number 2 with 3.2 million from 582 locations. The current frame reps 22% of the total international paw print, as 33 markets are set to go next weekend, including Germany, Mexico, Korea, Japan, and the Middle East. Universal's F9, for its part, crossed 500 million international, becoming the first Hollywood title to do so since 2019, and only one of 3, including 2 Chinese movies, to get to the mark in 2020 and 2021. The international weekend was good for 8.1 million in 61 markets, which included the opening in Taiwan. There, the movie muscled to 1.8 million to best all recent openers. After a strong start in Japan last session, F9 had a slight 24% drop to total 20.1. I know again. The offshore total is now 509.3 million, in line with Hobbs and Shaw at the same point, and 681 million.4 global. Disney's Jungle Cruise saw a 57% drop to 6.7 million in the third offshore session in 49 markets, and posting good midweeks. It has also grossed 72.2 million internationally and 154.3 million global. The top 5 markets are UK at 11.7 million, Russia at 7.4 million, Japan at 6 million, France at 5.1 million, Saudi Arabia at 3. Donnie Yen Actioner Raging Fire, which bowed in the US this weekend, led China again with another 26.3 million for a 123 million total to date. Again, I'm not saying Q. Of that, IMAX now accounts for 7.3 million. The coming week sees Pixar's Luca go to China as the first Hollywood movie into the market since June. Warner starting international rollout on Hugh Jackman star. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze there. Remnants and F9 finally drives to Italy. And then it goes on to talk about Space Jam New Legacy, its international markets. But the reason why I wanted to talk about Free Guy was because, by the previous, my anytime I do a video on this channel, it's my thoughts and my opinion. But from the previous, it just looks stupid. It looks absolutely ridiculously stupid. But that's what people need right now. They need to go out and see a stupid, funny movie during these times, right? As they are now. And you can't blame them. I mean, it doesn't matter how stupid the movie is if the word of mouth is coming across that, just go see this because, yes, it is stupid, but you'll enjoy it, then do it. Go see a stupid movie like Free Guy and just have a good time in the movie theaters. Some escapism. It's like I've said about The Suicide Squad in my review and even last week on Pop Talk. I enjoyed the movie. Yes, it's a stupid movie. But again, going back to what I'm saying about Free Guy, you need those stupid movies just to keep yourself entertained, just to escape from whatever's going on in the world. And even if you don't need an escape and you just want to go see a movie that'll give you a few laughs here and there, then do it. Have fun. I don't know if I'm gonna go see it, but I might wait till it comes out on video and rent it and see how it is. It could be a movie that just makes me laugh, and I'm sitting there and just having a good time. I don't know. Judging by the previews, I had no interest in it, but just because I have no interest in it doesn't mean someone else might. So let's go ahead and get on to the next story here. And that's actually Crunchyroll and Funimation joining forces once and for all. All right, I know that was a bad segue. I do apologize. And yes, some of these articles are going to be from last week because as of this moment, Pop Talk is only a once in a week show. So it'll either be on a Monday, it'll either be on a Tuesday. I do want to let you all know that on September 8th, that's the day that I am going to have another episode of Pop Talk, and that episode of Pop Talk is going to be all about Star Trek. Since it was September 8th, 1966, Star Trek originally premiered with the Mad Trap. So, with this news about Crunchyroll and Funimation joining forces, let's go on to the article and then I'll read the press release. It says, and this is from Crunchyroll's website, and it was posted on August 9th, so last week. It says, today we can share that Crunchyroll and Funimation have become one company. You can find more official information in the press release. Goes on to say the two brands you know and love will be working together, and we believe this is a great thing for fans and the industry alike. Both teams are knowledgeable, passionate, and have committed to the anime community for decades. We couldn't ask for better partners. And another reason why I'm covering this is because I have started to, delve into anime a little bit here and there. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily, you know, an anime fanboy. I'm not there, not by a long shot, but I am giving anime a chance. And I'm really enjoying My Hero Academia. I just had to find other animes that I think I might enjoy. And the only way I'm going to do that is by trying to watch different ones that are out there. And there's quite a lot to choose from. All right, so this release says, we know you may have questions. Today we begin the work bringing two awesome teams together to bring you more of what you love. Thank you for your trust and support. So now I'm going to go ahead and read the press release. All right. So this press release is saying that Sony's Funimation Global Group completes acquisition of Crunchyroll from AT&T. And then, in case you didn't know, but I'm sure a lot of you already know, is AT&T sold off Warner Brothers to the Discovery Group. So now Discovery owns Warner Brothers, and AT&T is continuing to sell off different assets that they previously bought from Warner Brothers just to try to get rid of some debt. So again, this was personal release that was so last week, and it goes on to say that Sony's Pictures Entertainment Inc. and AT&T today announced that SPE has completed its acquisition of AT&T's Crunchyroll anime business through Funimation Global Group. Funimation is a joint venture between SPE and Sony Music Entertainment Japan subsidiaries Aniplex Inc. The agreement was first announced in December 2020. Crunchyroll is a premier anime direct-to-consumer service with 5 million subscribers and growing. There are a million registered users across more than 200 countries and territories, offering video on demand, mobile games, manga, events, merchandise, and distribution. The deal provides the opportunity for Crunchyroll and Funimation to broaden just okay, why can't I speak? Broaden distribution for their content partners and expand fan-centric offerings for consumers. Very excited to welcome Crunchyroll to the Sony Group. Kit said Kenichiro Yoshida, Chairman, President, and CEO of Sony Group Corporation. Anime is a rapidly growing medium that enthralls and inspires emotion among audiences around the globe. The alignment of Crunchyroll and Funimation will enable us to get closer to the creators and fans who are the heart of the anime community. We look forward to delivering even more outstanding entertainment that fills the world with emotion through anime. Crunchyroll adds tremendous value to Sony's existing anime businesses, including Funimation and our terrific partners Aniplex and Sony Music Entertainment Japan. Said, okay, I'm definitely gonna try to pronounce this last name as best I can. I do apologize if I mispronounced it. Vinny Quero? I don't know. Okay, so chairman and CEO of Sony Pictures Entertainment Inc. With Crunchyroll and Funimation, we are committed to creating the ultimate anime experience for fans and presenting a unique opportunity for our key partners, publishers, and the immensely talented creators to continue to deliver their masterful content to audiences around the world. With the addition of Crunchyroll, we have an unprecedented opportunity ever before and deliver the anime experience across any platform they choose, from theatrical events, home entertainment, games, streaming, linear TV, everywhere and every way fans want to experience their anime. Our goal is to create a unified anime subscription experience as soon as possible. So again, it will be another streaming service to add to that are out there. Oh boy, I thought cutting the cord was supposed to save us all money. Instead, we have streaming services popping up left and right, and how many of them are going to actually survive? That's the main question. Not too many from my outside of Hollywood point of view. And the press release goes on to say the purchase price for the transaction is 1.175 billion, billion with a B. That's a lot of cash. And I wonder, and I'm not 100% certain, but I would imagine that would involve a lot of stock, subject to customary working capital and other adjustments. And the proceeds were paid in cash at closing. Okay, that answers that question. AT&T expects to use the proceeds from this transaction to its production efforts, with plans to reach a net debt to adjusted below 2.5% by year end of 2023. Okay. And then it just goes on to talk about the companies, where you can contact the companies, so on and so forth. So now, my question is, and I'm asking the new to anime. I haven't seen a lot of anime that I've been able to get into, to be perfectly honest. Do you think that this is a good move, or do you think this is a bad move? I'm going to speak as an outsider looking at it from my perspective. I don't know if this is going to be a good move in the long run, especially if you're going to start another streaming service. We already have plenty of streaming services out there that a lot of people have to pick and choose which ones they want to subscribe to, especially, with the current global situation, and how many people are really going to be willing to, put out any money for another streaming service. Some might only select two, maybe three, maybe four. I don't know. It's up to the individual person or the individual households to determine, how many streaming services they want to have. When, like I also mentioned, it was, always said that, cutting the cord was supposed to save us money. Well, it's not saving us money if we're having to sign up for one streaming service or another just so we can watch the shows that we want to watch. Because Disney Plus has its audience, it has its content. And then, of course, you have Hulu, which is also owned by Disney, and that has its content. Of course, there's Netflix, there's Discovery Plus, and they're still trying to push Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard, and that's not a good selling point from my perspective. And from my perspective, with that is you have these two shows that use the Star Trek brand, but they're not drawing anything. From what I've seen, they're not drawing anything. And if you can't use the Star Trek brand name, because that's what it is, it's a brand, to get more people to subscribe to your platform that was once called CBS All Access, and changing its name isn't going to help, then what makes you think that people are going to come? After all, I thought I had read where only some of the J.J. Abrams movies were available now on Paramount Plus. All the other movies, they're not on there anymore. So again, if you're a Star Trek fan, what's the point of signing up for Paramount Plus when it doesn't have much to offer? When a lot of, the longtime fans like myself, we already have the original classic movies, Star Trek the Motion Picture all the way up to The Undiscovered Country. We already have it on DVD or Blu-ray. We have Generations, First Contact, Insurrection, Nemesis on, DVD or Blu-ray, or some of us actually still have our VHS tapes. And I already have the original series on Blu-ray. I have the animated series on Blu-ray, all 7 seasons of Next Generation on Blu-ray. I have all 7 seasons of Deep Space Nine and Voyager and all 4 seasons of Enterprise. So really, I have no reason to sign up for another streaming service, whether it be Paramount Plus, whether it be Netflix, just to get my Star Trek fix. Even with the movies, I have all the movies. I have all the movies with the original series cast, Next Generation cast. Yeah, I did buy the Star Trek 2009 Into Darkness and Star Trek Beyond, but I can watch those 3. They've just been sitting on my Blu-ray shelf and collecting dust, to be perfectly honest. I'm much more inclined to, watch The Wrath of Khan or watch Generations, First Contact, watch Undiscovered Country, because my 2 favorite movies of the original, you know, cast and crew movies are The Wrath of Khan and The Undiscovered Country. Those are my 2 favorites. Now, as far as the Next Generation films, First Contact, that's it. And, when it comes to Deep Space Nine, again, I have all 7 seasons. I can watch all 7 seasons whenever I want. I can watch any of those episodes whenever I want on physical media. I know how convenient it is to have, digital media and to be able to go to a streaming service and watch all that. But I don't have any incentive to sign up for Paramount Plus or any other streaming service, especially if Sony starts another streaming service just for anim- anime. You know, I don't have any incentive to sign up when I'm already trying to decide which one do I want to keep, because some of them I don't watch. I don't watch at all. I'll sign up for the 7-day free trial or 30-day free trial, and if I'm not watching it more than once during that time, then there's no need for me to keep that service. Just like, you know, just getting into anime. Right now, I have no reason to sign up for any future streaming service that Sony may or may not release to the public just to watch, anime. I have no incentive. I'm still trying to go through different animes to see which ones I like, which ones I don't particularly care for. And, for me, it usually takes about 3 episodes for me to go, yeah, I'm gonna watch this series, or nah, I'm not gonna watch this series. I had originally watched Star Trek Picard thinking, all right, I'm gonna watch this for review purposes. By the end of those 10 episodes, I wasn't willing to go through those 10 episodes again just for the sake of a review. And I'm still not willing to go through those episodes just for a review of the series. Discovery, I, I watched season 3 after already watching seasons 1 and 2, and I'm not watching season 4. There's no way I'm going to do that. No way in hell I'm going to do that. So, there is no way in hell I am going to sign up for another streaming service just to watch anime. Sorry, I'm not going to do it. All right. On another note, since I've mentioned Star Trek, why don't we talk about a show that was very much inspired by Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek? And that is Seth MacFarlane and crew of the Orville celebrating the fact that season 3 is finally in the can. That's right, Orville fans. Season 3 is on its way. I can't wait to see the first teaser trailer for season 3. I can't wait to find out when season 3 is going to be released. I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to finding out the repercussions that Isaac has to face after what happened in Identity Part 1 and Identity Part 2. Waiting to see if Claire and him can mend their fences, mend their wounds, and how the rest of the crew, you know, manages to adjust to the events of what happened in Identity and then also what happened in the alternate timeline, and if that's going to play into effect. And also this new cast member, new character that we're getting. I can't wait to find out more about this character and see what she brings to, the table, especially when, we already have great characters already when it comes to Captain Ed Mercer, Kelly, and, John, and Bortus, of course. And Element. Bortus is my favorite character. Why? Because he reminds me so much of Worf. Worf was one of my favorite characters on Next Generation, and he was actually the second action figure I had picked up when Playmates had originally released the Next Generation line of Star Trek figures. So, you know, that's cool. Of course, speaking of Playmates, it's all thanks to them that we're getting the season 4 Discovery. Thanks a lot. All I wanted was a reissue of some of the Next Generation figures you originally released, some Deep Space Nine figures, Voyager. For Voyager, I have everybody except Tom Paris of the main crew. Tom Paris was the only one I missed out on. And, unfortunately, Enterprise never got any Playmates releases, so it would be cool as far as a Star Trek fan is concerned, and that Star Trek collecting, Star Trek memorabilia. It would be cool to finally get a Playmates release of Archer and crew, and have them with my Next Generation, my original series, Deep Space Nine, Voyager. Finally get Tom Paris. It'd be cool to have them with that collection I already have. And, it would be cool to see an updated release of the Enterprise D, considering that was released back in, I believe it was 93. So almost 30 years later, it'd be cool to see what they would add. Would they add some LED lighting for the windows, more sound effects that would be crisp and clear? And, instead of it just having the nacelles illuminated, it'd be cool if the windows were illuminated, the deflector dish was illuminated, the impulse engine was illuminated. And no, I don't want the sausage section impulse engines illuminated unless in a new release that this new release would have a version of the Enterprise D. And I'm not talking about the one from Generations. I'm talking about a complete updated version of their original release of the D from the original line. But have it where the saucer can separate from the star drive section. That would be cool, in my opinion. That would be cool to have the capability of separating, and then once you separate the saucer from the star drive section, that's when the saucer section impulse engines light up. That would be cool. That's just my opinion. But anyways, it's coming out of Cinema Blend. It's written by Megan Benke, and it was released on the 11th. So that would have been last Wednesday. It says the Fox turned Hulu sci fi dramedy series The Orville has officially wrapped production on its upcoming third season. Creator and star Seth MacFarlane, as well as other cast and crew, took to social media to celebrate the completion of season 3, which I actually did post on my Twitter account. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, I will put that up on screen right now, as well as share this. So there we go. So it says Seth MacFarlane is known to most as creator of Family Guy and the voice of multiple iconic characters on the animated series and Dead, which he also voices numerous characters. But he also created the Orville, which he stars in, and with season three wrapped on the little show that could, he couldn't help but get emotional on Twitter to celebrate. Well, why not? It's the spiritual successor to one of the greatest sci-fi franchises of all time. One of the greatest sci-fi franchises that make you think, and it doesn't tell you what to think. It lets you decide on your own how you should think about the consequences of that episode. The alien race of the week depicting the current problems of society, and you know, non-interference with other cultures. The prime directive that always plays a part in Star Trek. At least it used to. Okay, so in Seth MacFarlane's tweet, he said, and that's a wrap on season 3 of the cast and crew for their tireless and brilliant work. And I sincerely hope this is not the last time we all go to space. I certainly hope not. I certainly hope the show goes for several years. 7 seasons would be nice. Just like the Next Generation, DS9, and Voyager. It said Seth MacFarlane continued to gush about the upcoming season, praising the visual effects and how the team has taken it to the next level for season 3. And in his tweet, he says the visual effects masters at Fuse FX have raised things to the next level for the Orville season 3. Can't wait for you all to see what they've created. I can't wait either, Seth. You have taken Gene Roddenberry's vision, and you have, of course, made the Orville your own, but you have paid a wonderful tribute to that vision. It's too bad Les Moonves didn't let you create your own Star Trek spinoff, because I think it would have worked wonders. All right, so it says director John Cesar, who was at the helm for Orville's season 3 finale, looked back at his journey for the last 2 years on Twitter and thanked the cast and crew for pushing through the pandemic to get the third season. And that's another great point. Season 3. It's been 2 years in the making because of all the mess that's been going on. And fans have been waiting for it. Diehard fans have been waiting for it. I know I have. Ever since season 2 ended, I've been waiting for season 3. But there's not much you can do when there's a worldwide pandemic that shuts not just the US down, but every country down. But I cannot wait for the premiere of The Orville for season 3, and I will be reviewing that on the channel for Pacific414 episode review. I would absolutely love to have a watch party beforehand for The Orville season 3. And I would love for anyone who's a part of that watch party to be a part of Pacific414 episode review the night of the season premiere. Let's just say that. The night of the season premiere. Okay. So John Sark's tweet, he said the last shooting slate for season 3, The 2-year journey to get the third season filmed ended last night. A big thank you to the incredible cast and crew who risked their safety and brought together their creative talents to help the Orville fly again. Penny Johnson Gerald, also known as Cassidy Yates to Star Trek fans, and she was also the president's wife on 24, who portrays Dr. Claire Finn on the Orville, shared a picture of her uniform on Twitter, telling her fellow castmates they did it as season 3 was officially in the books. We did it. So much love. I cannot wait. I loved Penny Johnson as Cassidy. I love her as Claire on The Orville. I just love the show. Let me just say that. I just love the show. And I cannot wait to see season 3. I can't say that enough. I cannot wait to see season 3. And Lieutenant Talia Chiali herself, Jennifer Zor, posted one last trailer picture to her Twitter account saying goodbye to outer space before heading back down to Earth. Out space, it's been unreal heading back to Earth for a minute. Scott Grimes, Gordon. Yeah. You know, John and Gordon are one of my favorites. Besides Boris, of course. I like Isaac. He does remind me a lot of Data. Ed and Kelly, chemistry between Adrian Palacki and Seth MacFarlane, I think it's great. Okay, so Scott Grimes, who plays Lieutenant Gordon Molloy of the Orville a couple of weeks ago, as opposed to just recently, like everyone else. However, he was still in good spirits when he finished posting a picture of his boots and already fell for it. Well, why not? And I love that hat. I love how it pays homage to naval tradition, different naval submarines, cruisers, battleships, aircraft carriers. I just love it. And now I'm wondering, is that available to purchase? Because I would love it. And you would see me wear it. You would definitely see me wear it. And of course, some people would say, yeah, but Mike, you already have enough hats. So, so what's the problem? I see no problem. Okay, so it says today's a wrap on season 3 for me. It was a long haul, but worth it. I certainly will miss these shoes. Well, I hope it's not the last time for any of them. Much like many shows over the last year, the Orville faced multiple setbacks when it came to filming season 3. While at first the series was projected to premiere on Hulu in late 2020, thanks to a COVID shutdown around Hollywood, that was not the case. And then the beginning of the year, many shows faced yet another delay, just as the holidays, including the Orville. After what seemed like forever, the third season finally began filming and has now completed production. Currently, there is no set premiere date for the Orville Season 3, and as of now, it's not known whether or not Hulu will renew the series for another season. It has been speculated that the streamer will cancel the sci fi series after the third season, but since it has yet to even premiere and with production just wrapping, fans shouldn't have to worry for at least a little while longer. I hope they don't cancel it. You hear me, Disney? Don't cancel it. I know Disney doesn't really care what I say, but I'm a fan of the Orville. I enjoy watching the show. It's one of the few shows I can actually sit back and enjoy anymore. And it would it would be a great disappointment if they decide, nope, we're not renewing the show. Because when it comes to the Orville, I, I'm entertained. I'm reminded of how great Star Trek used to be and how much Seth MacFarlane has paid attention to the lessons from Star Trek, but has also taken the time and done his homework to make the Orville his show. Yes, it's paying homage to Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek, and rightfully so. But he's making it his show, and that's what's awesome about it. That's what's awesome about it because it does have those episodes that make you think, and about a girl. That's a great episode, and you know Bortus and Clyden are having a dispute, and they're having the dispute over the sex of their child, and it is prevalent today, so it is speaking of topics of today, current events. But I just enjoy the Orville for what it is. It's a fun show. It's a show that, especially in season 2, makes you think. And why not? Why not just sit back, relax, and enjoy a show that's well written? And uh, you gotta give credit where credit is due. The writing team on there, they do a great job, and it's not just former Star Trek writers on there. Writers from Family Guy are writing the show too. So some people might think, well, who would have thought that people who have been used to writing comedy for these almost 20 years can write a show like The Orville, even with its comedy bits, you know, that can be smart and intelligent and ask the questions that maybe some of us are just afraid to ask. And maybe some of us do ask these questions on a regular basis. So I really do enjoy the Orville. If you haven't watched my Orville season 1 overview review or my season 2, please take some time to watch it. And yes, they were live streamed just like this, but when I was trying to make the videos, I just couldn't decide what clips to include, what not to include. So I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna go live and talk about it. Sometimes that's what I like to do. I do like making some videos, editing my reviews for different episodes, but I like going live and just shooting the breeze, having fun, and talking about things I enjoy. And even when it comes to, doing the box score, I know it's been frustrating, Cub fans. I know. And I know people who aren't Cub fans, who aren't baseball fans, and who can see how frustrating it's been. But it goes back to you know our favorite franchise. You look at the state of Star Wars, Star Trek right now, Doctor Who, and you just go, who are these shows or movies being made for now? It's not being made for the fans that have been there for forever, practically. It's not being made for those people. Just like with the Cubs right now. The Cubs aren't putting a good team on the field. They're putting a bunch of guys on the field who still need time in the minor leagues in order to succeed at the major league level. And it's frustrating as a fan who has bought merchandise for, Star Trek, Star Wars, the Cubs, who has purchased a streaming platform to be able to watch certain, movies, watch certain TV shows, watch the games, and to see that the fans' best interests aren't being put forward. The best product isn't being put out there. That's what's frustrating. As as a fan, and I'm speaking for myself right now. I am not speaking for you. I'm not speaking for anyone else. I'm speaking for me. It's frustrating right now. It's frustrating to see a show like Lower Decks that's supposed to be a comedy series, and it's not funny in my opinion. And I've got a funny bone. I've got a sense of humor, and I don't find that show funny at all. To watch Discovery and do facepalm after facepalm, to watch Picard and see what happens to a great character like Captain Picard, or Admiral Picard as he's called in Discovery. See what has happened to a character who should have to apologize. Hell, the character saved the galaxy. Yes, he still felt bad about what happened when he was assimilated and what happened at Wolf 359. But he shouldn't have to go around the galaxy apologizing. He shouldn't have to go around the galaxy saying, I'm only here, for people to look at, and then all these youngsters can take care of everything. No. The character of Captain Picard, Admiral Picard, should still have that gravitas that says, this is who I am. I have done many things. I've negotiated treaties with countless enemies. And I am not a shell of the man I once was. And of course, at the end of Picard, they make him a freaking android. They make him a freaking android, and they say that he's only going to live as long as he was going to live in his natural body without their syndrome that he had. And that's just ridiculous. If you're going to kill off a character, why don't you at least let the character go out in a good way? Because the way they had him go out is not a good way. And, as much as I love John Delancey as Q, and by the way, Q only showed up on DS9 one time, Cisco punched him, and he knew not to show up again. But to have John Delancey come back as Q for the second season, that's not going to make me want to sign up for CBS All Access. That's not going to make me want to watch Picard. Seeing Discovery, go through the galaxy, fighting the, danger of the galaxy, of the season, the crisis of the season, that's not going to be interesting to me. DS9 was interesting because at least DS9 led into something very interesting. It led into the Dominion. It led into the Federation and the Klingons going into war so that the Dominion could invade the Alpha Quadrant with both the Federation and Klingon Empire at a weakened state, which allowed the Dominion to basically knock the Federation and Klingon Empires, back a little bit. I mean, heck, when season 6 premiered, after the high that we saw at the end of Call to Arms at the season finale of season 5, when we saw all those ships, and then season 6 opens up and you see all these bruised and battered ships, some ships barely moving under their own power, some being pulled by the fighters via tractor beam, seeing that the Federation got its ass kicked. That was humbling after seeing that last shot of Call to Arms with the combined Federation and Klingon fleet. Exactly, Brian. Exactly. Was awesome. And I know you were mentioning What We Left Behind, the documentary. And I don't know about you, but I would really like it if Paramount, CBS, Viacom, even though I know they're not going to do it, although they would make money from me if they released Deep Space Nine in HD on Blu-ray, because it's already in the widescreen format. We saw that in the documentary. Saw it in format, and just imagine the entire series in Blu-ray. That upgraded scene that we see and what we left behind from Sacrifice of Angels, where you see the Defiant and then the Klingon fleet swooping in. That was amazing. Yeah, why not put Voyager out there too? I know they're saying, and they keep saying that, the Next Generation Blu-rays didn't sell. Well, they sold because I bought all 7 seasons. Yeah, I know. I still have hope too. I still have high hopes too, Brian, that maybe one day we'll finally see the Blu-ray releases of decent Voyager. It's a damn shame that those are the only 2 series that aren't on Blu-ray. You got the original series on Blu-ray. You've even got the animated series on Blu-ray, but Deep Space Nine and Voyager are only available on DVD. And just imagine, especially, yeah, I've noticed that too. Babylon 5's been upgraded, but just imagine seeing Voyager in HD, especially when they started using more computer effects, computer generated models. Just imagine that they put in. And they could even add more detail if they wanted to. As long as they get Rick Sternbach and a few of the other guys in there to do it, not somebody else. Just imagine what it would look like, being able to see even more detail in the corridors. Yeah, yeah. You've got a point there, but it'd be a foolish move if they just released it on Paramount Plus, because you have fans who would say, "All right, I'll buy it." And speaking of the director's cut of the motion picture, as much as I would like to have the 4K copy, I still have the DVD copy. And I don't know if I want to pony up for a 4K player right at this moment and a 4K TV at the same time. Well, when it comes to doing that, I don't always upgrade to the next best thing right away. I wait a few years, mainly for the price to get lower. And then that's when I swoop in and purchase it. And got a question for you, Brian. Are you a big fan of the Orville? And the reason why I'm asking is because tonight I was talking about how season 3 of the Orville wrapped up, and I can't wait for season 3 to premiere. And I really hope that Hulu doesn't decide after season 3 is over that there is no more Orville to be seen. Because I'm a successor of Star Trek. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, don't worry. If you are able to join me on September 8th, because that'll be the Star Trek episode, Pop Talk, we can talk about what we don't like about current Trek. Yeah, and I'm glad you're saying that, because I did mention in this broadcast, one of the things I would like to do is when we get a firm release date for season 3 of the Orville, I would love to have a watch party, and we would do it via my Discord, or you know, we would find a way. Let's just say we'll find a way to do a watch party, and I would love to have a watch party, and then after we have a watch party, we do an episode of my show, Pacific414 episode review, or we could just make it a general live stream, and we can talk about it. We can react to it. Or, we can even do the watch party. We can't show the episode, of course, but do the watch party. And as we're watching it, record our live reactions to different things that are going on. Because I I am looking forward to the day when we see that, say, December, let's say December 15th. That was my mother and father's wedding anniversary. Let's say December 15th is the premiere date, because we do know that they had already shot a few episodes of season 3 before everything went crazy. All the shutdowns and everything. So we do know that we have a few episodes already in the can, and that the special effects team has already been working on those episodes. So I would love for it to be an early Christmas present and see the return of the Orville, because I can't say it enough. I cannot say it enough. I cannot express it enough how much I enjoy that show. How much I enjoyed being able to watch the Orville, watch the cleanse that was the Orville, after seeing the disgrace that was Discovery. And, that's also how I felt about The Mandalorian, too, after watching season 3 of Discovery. I was grateful when The Mandalorian was on that I had a chance to watch it that Friday after seeing Discovery on Thursday. What what ticked me off, I'll be perfectly honest, is when season 2 of The Mandalorian ended, yet we still had a couple episodes of Discovery left. It's like, all right, I got to find something else to act as the palate cleanser, because oh, Discovery, what a clusterfuck. And yes, Brian, yes, on my channel, I'm sorry if I'm not that family friendly, especially after doing the box score and watching the Cubs. I'm sorry, but there are just times I've got to tell it like it is, how I see it, and oh, oh, thank God you didn't. Thank God you didn't give yourself an aneurysm, because I think I almost did. Oh gosh, don't. I watched a few episodes of Lower Decks last year, and I said I can't take this. I can't take the constant screeching and yelling. Yep, yep. I was gonna review Picard, but after watching the first 10 episodes once, I couldn't do it again. I could not do it again. To sit down in front of the TV and watch all 10 episodes again. I couldn't do it. It was disgrace to the character of Captain Picard, and to say that they took a piece of Data's positronic net like it was DNA and cloned Data into other androids when you can't even do that, it is not scientifically possible. No, just no. I could understand if they tried to copy B4. I can understand if they tried to copy Lore. By the way, there was no mention of Lore at all in that season. No mention of him at all. The last time we saw him, Descent Part 2. Data shuts him down, and as he's being shut down, Laura says, I love you, brother. uh, yeah, that's true. For any of us true Star Trek fans, Picard was the final nail in the coffin for us. Picard is a disgrace to Gene Roddenberry's legacy. It's a disgrace to the next generation, and it's a disgrace to the Star Trek name. Discovery is a disgrace to the Star Trek name. I know there are fans of New Trek, but honestly, you were at the convention, and I was at the convention. I didn't see a whole lot of Discovery representation there. I saw more representation from the original series, Next Generation, you know, DS9, because I did see a picture of a guy wearing, the First Contact Deep Space Nine uniform. But Discovery, nobody cares. Picard, nobody cares. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for stopping by, Brian. Really appreciate it. And that's the thing. You know, you're in your 30s. I'm in my early 40s. We gravitated to it at certain ages. We didn't need a show like Progress into it. We gravitated to the original series and started to learn about what they were talking about, started to take in what they were talking about. It's like I said in a comment one time when someone said to me that, Star Trek before current New Trek was boring. I had said, well, perhaps you just don't understand for what's truly meant to be. And Star Trek, much like baseball, is for intelligent people. No, neither would I. Neither would I. I mean, you see what Kurtzman has produced, and not just with Discovery, not just with Picard, but any show he's attached to, it's the lowest of the low. His episodes of the lowest of the low. Yes, I watched Xena. I was in high school. What do you expect? I thought Lucy Lawless was a good-looking woman. I still think she's a good-looking woman. I know the male gaze. So what? But his episodes. It's like, okay, I'm turning this off. The Island. Yeah, I watched it. I thought it was okay, but it's not one that I actually go back and want to watch again. I just can't do it. So, you know, I just don't. Thanks again for stopping by the Nurporo Lifeform, also known as Brian. Please, folks, if you like Star Trek, if you like video games, if you like retrospective videos, please stop by the Nurporo Lifeforms channel. He produces awesome content. You'll enjoy his content, and I think he's a real cool dude. Real cool dude. So, on that note, since, I could be going on all night, but I will not be going on all night, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this edition of Pop Talk. Thank you for stopping by the Northorial Lifeform. Again, stop by his channel. And if you like what you saw here, well, then do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends. Leave a comment down in the comment section below. And subscribe to the Pacific414 YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. I talk about pop culture. I do episode reviews. I do movie reviews. I do video game streams. I also talk about the Chicago Cubs and baseball in general. So if you're a baseball fan or if you're a Cub fan like me and you're a little frustrated with how the team's been performing, what's going on with the front office, well, then we can discuss it. We can discuss it on the box score. You can, of course, follow me on social media. The links are down in the description below, but I will go ahead and put them up here. And of course, I do have a Discord, so feel free to stop by the Discord. Again, the link for the Discord is down below. And, subscribe. And make sure when you subscribe that you click the notification bell. This way you can be notified anytime I upload a new video or go live. And you can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Pacific414. Again, thank you all for watching this episode of Pop Talk. Greatly appreciate it and can't say it enough. Thank you, Brian from the Nortorial Life Forum, for stopping by. Always appreciate the support, brother. And until next week, I will see you all later. Take care and have